everybody, it's TechStack here.
Hey everyone. Holy lightning storm.
Afraid while I'm going up there, I found another horse skeleton.
You did?
How do you think I got all the skeleton horses?
Oh, I know. Yeah, they'd be out right now.
No.
Those things are too easy to get in on a server. Something's loaded, they just spawn like crazy over time. Okay, stream, so here's the setup. We've got the batteries in the back, we've got the generator in the front, battery there. Conduit is now somewhat working. It's got a little bug with it where it doesn't update sometimes, and I'm not sure why yet, so we'll have to figure that out. But it is fully configurable to any direction that you want it to go. Make all sorts of shapes with it, right? And on top of that, get the factory here. Lop that down over there. And let's look at Eclipse in the background. So you can see I set it up with a debug code in there saying the energy level of that thing. If I place down a wire, the battery should be transferring energy over to it. That's interesting. Maybe because of the loops. Take those loops out of there. It was working earlier. It's connected to it. I promise it was working earlier. Did I break my generator? Oh, I
Does it
did.
have
I hope
fuel?
not.
Receive energy 100. Oh, that's what it is. My bad. It should be able to receive energy.
I'll be right back.
Okay. That's gonna be a problem. I need to receive the energy. Okay, that's a bug for me to work through. So I changed the code between my test earlier today and now. That's why it's doing that. Now that I rerun it, it'll work, but I've got to figure out a workaround for this because the receive energy, I don't really want to call that like that. Turn energy, but it's just an integer. There's no way for me to receive energy internally without completely extending this class or implementing my own energy storage. Not what I want to do. Just trying to keep it simple. But now, if we look at Eclipse, see that the energy level already is up to 1,000. So that thing can hold up to 1,000. Didn't mean to break the generator. Just like this, and come over here and break it, place a new one, it'll say 0 and count up to 1,000 because it receives energy that quick through these wires. Let's put that in line with it. Place down that. Again, we're at 1,000 already. So in theory, this thing should be storing power now. So let's break this. This. Oh, not this. Step back. And place down a new one. And it gets the power from the battery. So it looks like everything's working. With the exception of this, when I go out and come back in, it doesn't seem to save properly that it's connected to that thing for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. So see, it's not updated, but if I break it and then replace it, it works. Now, that said, the thing should still be transmitting energy because it's only a visual glitch. Or not. Yeah, it's only a visual glitch. So block updating them doesn't help.
Are they thinking where they're not connected, so they're doing that?
Right, for some reason, so... Again, this is basically a trick that Minecraft does even with fences. So it's got all the different directions, true or false, if there's a connection there. And that's set only on the client side. As you run the game, it's checking to see, is this a valid tile entity over here that can accept power or not, basically. And if it is, then it puts the, what is that direction? South connection to true. And that's how it renders it like this.
Okay.
But why would it not know that that's there until I break and replace it? Unless it's not really a tile entity on the client side. Maybe I got something screwed up in that when it's creating it. So let's see, conduit. Create tile entity is not one-sided, it doesn't look like.
The generator or the power pack?
For what? I only heard you say the generator power pack.
I was talking here. Sorry.
Oh. Oh. So we're just saying if it has that capability. So it calls on block break. So one block break triggers a bunch of them. Interesting. Get actual state should be sided, I think. Let's stop this. Go to block. Container, block, deprecated. It's not sided though. Applies to properties not visible in the metadata, such as fenced connections. That's what we want.
I'm back.
Hi, back. Oops, that's not it.
What could we possibly use for that?
So, Fire, you're working on recipes, it sounded like, right?
Yeah.
Are you writing them down somewhere or something? Or what are you...
Oh, I'm doing better than that.
Oh, I know what you're doing. Thank
Yep.
you.
Top floor of the house.
Nice. Logging in.
And yes, I'm working on the assembly table right now.
And that reminds me, I think I removed the assembly table somehow by accident from the code, which is awful. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, well, this is the one that's going to be scratching my head all night. Because none of the parts that we have make any sense whatsoever.
But it doesn't have to be anything fancy for the table itself, because there's nothing... it doesn't even accept power. It accepts work from the robot arms. That's it. Think of it like a welding table, even. What would you weld on?
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I got an easy fix for that. Alright, where's items?
I guess it does have the GUI, but
Steel.
that's about it. Power cell? What's this thing over here, Fire? Oh, never mind. I won't distract you. Generators, battery. What's the... Oh my gosh. Why are you guys putting a conveyor in it? It doesn't move items. I'm just asking the question because I don't have plans on doing that. I know it's been suggestion a few times, but I don't.
And the purple and black block here would be an electric motor.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, my brother came in and had to talk to me. No, it's not oil in actuality. It's just I didn't have anything else for a motor, so you know, like an electrically driven motor that drives all the components on the arm. Are you talking?
Me? No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Listen.
I told you about the problem I had earlier, so
I'm just listening to you talk, right?
but yeah, I just put that there just as a placeholder. But that ain't too bad.
No, I mean none
I
of
don't
these
think.
really seem expensive. I'd have to look to see what the battery. What is that? A storage cell? Where's the
Yeah.
battery?
It's just a bunch of redstone blocks and a comparator.
I mean,
Comparator is the most expensive piece in there, and they're not even that bad.
power cell. Okay, that's what it is. Right, that is a lot of redstone. Yeah, it's basically just go get a bunch of iron and you can have all this set up.
Yeah, it would be an electric motor. That's why I didn't use the engine.
So if that's going to be an electric motor, we need the recipe for the electric motor then.
Right.
That's the only thing we don't have a recipe for today. What's that top thing over here on the generator?
Fuel tank.
Is it really a fuel tank?
Yes. It's liquid tank segment.
Oh, okay.
And it does have a crafting recipe, so...
And that's super cheap too. I think we might be going too cheap with these things.
How about if you
What?
actually
I mean,
use
that engine is not that cheap. That's a V6 engine tech. I mean, all of the iron used
But
for
it's
the
just
pistons
iron.
and...
There's, like, we don't even have a single diamond. Not saying that we need diamonds, but you know, we don't have anything other than iron in this whole thing. The redstone, that's it.
This is steel.
Okay.
So is
but that's
this.
just a little bit of coal and iron.
Well...
I'm questioning. I'm not
can't-
saying it's wrong. I'm questioning. Is it too cheap?
We can't throw the tier 2 stuff into any of these recipes. Otherwise,
Right.
you're caught in that whole circle of not able to get it.
Well, hang on a second.
Agree.
Generator, wouldn't you want an electric motor on that to make the generator power? Because all you're doing is like flipping the leads.
On the generator?
Electric motor as well.
You're kind of cutting in and out.
Yeah.
On the generator, if you put an electric motor on it and you run it backwards, it creates energy.
Makes sense.
So shouldn't it also have? It's 2 motors, 1 gas and 1 electric.
No, it's only the gas engine drives a dynamo, basically, is what it is. That's how an electric generator works. I
But
used
what
to
Eagle's
run.
saying is right too. You can run an electric. Like if you were to crank an electric engine, you'd turn it into a generator. You basically just run it backwards. Instead of putting power into it, the leads coming off the electric motor turn into power generation.
Okay, but
I'm trying to upset you. I'm trying to figure stuff out to make it more expensive.
well, I don't. The only way we'd make it more expensive is if they had to use tier 2 materials to do it. But we can't use the tier 2 materials because they need this to get the tier 2 materials.
Unless we do something, and I'm hating myself for saying this, we do something like, I don't know, think of, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm going down a path in my head that is awfully dark and deep, and I don't want to go there.
You're not talking about equivalent exchange, are you?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say bad tech, bad tech.
No, I'm thinking of my favorite like processing mod, right? And it because I'm thinking of this because I played it the most. So thermal expansion. When you create a energy cell, yes, it has the liquid pieces in there, but the fact that you need to build something to make the liquid pieces makes it more expensive, right? So the what is it, the Enderium or whatever they called it, I forget now what it's called, but it's that liquid that you make out of melting ender pearls, right? So you need a magma crucible, and then you need the device to fill up the energy storage cells, plus you need that whole housing unit to put in to fill it up, right? So there's multiple stages to it, and then all the other machines. I'm not saying I want to put a bunch of machines into the mod though, because I don't know what they would be used for. So maybe this is where we start with, and then as we expand things to add other machines for whatever reason, if we need them, that's when maybe we change these recipes to require something from those machines. I don't know. What do you think?
On that, I'm going to make a comment. What happens if we add a mill where you put an iron block in there and you select the part and it makes the part? Because we can stick
Well, that's kind of what I'm going for with this whole
V12 engine on it to make it run, and we can also use diamonds for the cutters. Slows you down because you need diamonds to get the cutters for.
I'm not liking myself for thinking this.
I'm
Based on what
fussing
you
with-
said, what if we did kind of a compromise And the compromise is you build the assembly table basically with the recipe that Fiery has now, which is a bunch of steel and steel blocks, right? And that assembly table is where you build with the recipes all of the rest of the stuff. You build the generator in the assembly table. You build the factory arm or the robot arm in the assembly table. But it requires work.
I thought the robotic arm was going to build on the assembly table.
I'm getting there. What? They do the work for. So the assembly table, in order for it to craft something, requires work to be given to it. I was initially thinking the work would come from the factory arm. What if we gave you some type of hammer or something?
I was just very thinking.
And you sit there and whack the stupid assembly table until you get enough work built up to build your first robot arm, your first generator. Then the robot arm can take over for whacking the stupid block with its welder and all this stuff, right? And then you can make a second factory arm and a third factory arm and a fourth factory arm to power it at full tilt, right? Then we don't need all these other recipes. And then also, we can make it as expensive or as cheap as we want without having to add a whole bunch of other things. If we wanted to have 600 pieces of iron to be required to make that generator, go for it. You don't need 10 sub-assemblies to do it. Now, what that does mean is we've got a whole bunch of blueprints that we got to add to the game. And those blueprints, we need a way to find them or get started with them.
Well, it's this question. Do we want it where the assembly table, you can make it still? You don't need the blueprints.
So you could make the assembly table?
No, I'm saying if you make the assembly table, the parts that you need, you can take it. Slot. If you take the assembly table, you can scroll through the items that you need or you can make with the assembly table as it is.
So it's got... I think I see what you're saying. So instead of making a blueprint for it, it just knows how to make X number of machines right off the bat, and you can just pick one.
It knows how to make the loader, the tractor, the stuff like that. Because we can set it up as tier 1s can be automatically made in that as well. So all you need is to gather the materials. You don't have to craft materials to craft it.
And that's basically what I'm doing, but with the blueprints, what you just described.
Yeah.
And I've got the blueprint set in my code in a way where it'll be easy for me to make a whole bunch of blueprints. So I basically give them a name, and then this blueprint requires 100 iron, 50 whatever, you know, and so on.
Well, the other thought is we make the villagers have it, and we make nitwits have it or something.
I'm tempted to make the EXP stalkers drop the blueprints fair.
But how are you supposed to get there?
The assembly table doesn't require you to get there. Or is not required to get there. You can craft the portal frames, I think, right? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And you can craft the compressed star. Or collapsed star.
I'll go work on that.
We need to find a place to kill the wither when we do get there too. One that's far, far away in a desert or something stupid that no one cares about.
Hey, Fiery, can you come and rescue me? Own building.
Where are you?
At my house.
Trying to think what. I'm liking the idea of the assembly table, and then like I give you a assembly table work hammer or something like that. And you sit there and whack it, and it gives it one work point.
You hit the button there.
and then we make like the generator is made with a couple hundred work points, right? So you just click, 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 and you're like, oh my gosh, I want this thing so bad, so I never have to do this again. What's that?
You just want me to like bust the door open, or
hit the button there? Thank you.
That would make it so we don't even have to make the electric engine. Not to do these crafting recipes. Jay Trent, the electric motor you put there, I couldn't tell what that was at first.
Oh,
I've already got a
nice.
blueprint one.
Hey, Eagle, I can unclaim your chunks.
That would work.
I just tried it.
Yeah, then you can just reclaim them.
Works.
Right there's the blueprint that I got for the continuous miner, and they'd all basically have the same icon.
That or I can be on your team. It doesn't matter to me.
Oh, whoa. That was some lag or something.
The unclaiming. Hold on, let me make sure I got everything over here. Okay.
Why am I walking around with 58 iron in my inventory? And by 58 iron, I mean blocks.
To you yesterday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay.
On new team or start a new team again?
It's up to you.
Only thing I would say is, I'm okay with you being on our team. You don't seem like you're a problem maker at all.
Yeah.
But that means that everyone else is on our team can get into your stuff too. So
That's fine.
you'd have to be okay with that. So
If you trust them, I trust them then.
Gotcha. And Jay Trent, that was a comment meant towards Eagle. He's been here for a while. So we're trying to avoid trolls, not saying that you're a troll, but most trolls are impatient. So with time, prove that you're not going to be a troll. Right?
What the heck? What, did you go to the nether?
Me? Yeah. Had all these conveyor belts. I need to use them. Oh gosh. I don't know where I was falling to, but it felt like it was going to get warm quick.
Ocean on you as well.
Yeah, I suppose. Still. If I die and land on something and all my items go in there, it doesn't help me. Right, so what you're explaining to me is you understand my point completely. Ah, dang it. Come on, get me out of here. Jeez. That is a freaking death trap. Imagine that.
You need to put a lever or something at the very end of it so you can stop the last conveyor belt.
You know what? You're a genius because I forgot that I'd ever coded that in. Oh, why did I think of that?
I noticed that yesterday when I was putting down and like two of them was not turning, period. I'm like, find a bug or something? I go, no, it's the lever was on.
It really messed with your head when they still were moving, even though they didn't actually move things. So I didn't have the animation update to stop it at first.
Oh. That would really mess with you.
Stick. Stuck out.
Because he was trying to see how if he could drive it into the fence there and then jump out and be inside it.
When you get a second, Tech, you want to go ahead and add me so I can reclaim this area?
Oh yeah, just a landed here. Ooh, ouch. My team members.
I already did it.
Yeah, as I say, it's already there. No! I didn't die.
I was just gonna say, should we be expecting a Techstack burn to death in lava message?
No, I fell down the thing trying to put the lever up to stop me from falling down the thing. I know, the irony, right?
Now, when you get done harvesting that field, make sure you replant it too. Because stuff doesn't grow on its own.
Who took the frickin' repeater off of the timer?
So, as far as the generator and robotic arm, are we going with your idea then? Of making somebody beat on the assembly table with a hammer?
I don't know. What's your thought? You think it's a good idea, or am I?
It is a
being
good
stupid?
idea, and it would prevent us from having to put these recipes in. I'm just wanting to know so I know if I should just stop trying to put these up.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, the assembly table's recipe should be good. I mean, 3 blocks of steel and 4 steel ingots.
Does it break the rest of the mod if we do that, though? And by that I mean, everything else doesn't work that way that we've got now.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Because all you're doing is getting to that next level area.
Right, and all it is just a slowdown to keep you from, I'd even, put it so that they're limited to X number of clicks a tick or something, so that people with
Auto clickers.
auto clickers can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this in a half a second. Yeah, no you're not, sonny boy.
Right.
Make it some ridiculous number that you have to hit it with.
1,307.
Remember how I was thinking of.
Of course, you gotta be right back, Pigman. Dang it. Stop hitting me. It's not so much that they're hitting me, it's a problem. It's that the conveyor belts are here and it pushes me away then. Ah! Stupid freaking blades. Missed blades. Probably be easier to do this if I had sounds on too, so I knew they were shooting at me.
Might be.
So that's gonna suck if a gas shoot at me, because I ain't gonna know. All the stuff blow up.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this as a consensus of a yes.
If anyone has problems with it, speak now, forever. Have to click a block a bunch of times.
For a second.
Going once, going twice. Sold.
Hey, Tech.
Yeah.
For a second. Hey, Fiery, can we glitch a robot in so we don't have to do all this real quick? Then we can get rid of the robot?
You guys are talking to the wrong person. I am the uncorruptible, okay?
We'll figure that out as soon as we start making the first piece of equipment.
Right. So that's part of the reason I have the server, is to see from a survival perspective, is what I'm doing in the mod fun and reasonable to do, or is it glitched out in survival, or what, right? So yeah, we're probably gonna have to sit there and click something.
Yeah.
But it's just for the first one. So once we get the first one, then we can make the next robot arm using the table itself, or using the first robot arm. There's like gas everywhere all of a sudden. I'm getting out of here. Jeez, there's even one over here.
You got the wrong implement there for planting, okay, Trent? There's one in there called the plant. In the top left.
He's got a planter on from what I can see.
Yeah, he just got it on.
Oh, okay.
It was the spreader. The spreader is for spreading out bone meal.
Think of it like a fertilizer.
You know what? I'm gonna make a day, because I'm tired of watching creepers blow our field apart. Yeah, it's on the planter now.
It worked.
All the flaming zombies come after me.
So now all you do is you just
Oh, that's cool.
what?
I've got a rocket attack. I need to eat. So I would take off from the ground, but I'd be pointing forward with my cursor and fly into him and hit him as I go into him. Are you in creative or survival, Fiery?
Creative.
So something like this. You
Nice.
rocket forward into him.
Oh yeah, it probably takes the critical hit mechanic then.
I don't know. I wasn't paying close enough attention. It might. But it lets you stay at a distance and choose when you attack instead of them hitting you. Somebody, whoever said something last was just full static.
And there was a creeper right next to where it was.
Okay, so no one spoke up in the chat, in the stream. No one on here said anything, so I guess we're going with clickety-click-clicks. Which is fine. So I need to make a hammer. I'm assuming hammer is the right tool for it. And then
The top and one stick.
Yeah, I guess we need a recipe for that, don't we?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Well, before it. It's like all blocks at the top, all blocks in the middle, one stick. Do that for Pixelmon. They have a hammer in that, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
I love Pixelmon. That mod is awesome. Done. Or I suppose we could do
So assembly table, hammer, the blueprint mechanic. Who's in favor of a villager trading system? No one, okay.
He said me.
Oh, you didn't come through again.
I
said
really
because
think you should make your own villager.
Right, that's what I would have to do. Make my own. If I do that, I have to make a villager. The villager then would trade you for different blueprints. And you just have to find the villager that you need the blueprint for. And I'm okay with that. It makes it a little bit more challenging to get these machines that are super cheap and OP.
Alright, Tech, you want to come back to the board area? I'll show you the 2 different recipes I got for hammers.
Okay.
You can pick one.
Again, I need to turn the sounds up. Okay.
I mean, the difference is literally 1 stick and 1 piece of steel each, so... But it's 2 ends. So, either one.
The one on the right.
You think so? I kind of thought so, too. Now, on that note...
The only thing I question is it a block of steel instead of ingots?
No. God, no. You know how heavy that hammer would be? You'd be lifting Thor's hammer, for Christ's sake.
Thor's hammer. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. We make 1 hammer that's crafted like that, and it takes 1,000 hits. And you make Thor's hammer, and it takes 100 hits. Do you want to click more, or do you want to spend more recipes?
That's not a bad idea.
Don't encourage him.
All I'm saying, have 2 different hammers. That's what he's saying.
I was mostly joking with that, though. Oh. I love my crash helmet, Fiery. I can fly inside. As long as I don't put my head in the block. That's a slow
I was
death.
gonna say, you almost killed yourself there.
No, I could stay in there for a while. I'm now at half health. So. Does it look really stupid?
It does. You're like burying yourself in the wall.
Imagine if I let go of the... Yeah. It's just because I have the rocket turned on. Okay, so we'll go with this one.
Okay.
Then, I guess I need to add a villager. It's always this trade-off, right? So like I was describing earlier, I added the whole assembly table and factory arm, robot arm thing to make it so I didn't have to add a bunch of items to the game. then because of those, I had to add a generator and conduit and batteries and power generation.
No. You're only really adding these 2 recipes.
Those 2 recipes,
now.
but now I have to go add villagers for the blueprints. Hey, Hunter.
Yeah, but you would have had to do that anyway.
For the blueprint, yeah.
So you're not really giving yourself extra work there. It's just you're getting to the work that you would have had to do in the first place anyway.
And I really like the model for the battery. It looks... I like it. So
yeah,
I did get to
I
make
like
that
it
model.
too.
I really think they look better as 2 high blocks, but it gotta be 1. Maybe it's the colors I like so much, I don't know.
No, just more the look of it.
Why can't people just get the no advertisement thing?
Oh, you talking about YouTube? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Sorry, I just ignored it completely.
I didn't. Yeah, I just seen it.
I love that
I haven't been
YouTube
paying
just
attention
automatically
to it.
flags them and figures it out.
Yeah, I do love that. Yes, Hunter, you do see a generator and batteries.
And they're semi-working. That doesn't connect again when I relog. That's what I'm trying to figure out now, but then we got distracted with other things.
Ooh, that is a little bit of a problem.
It's just a visual thing, though, and I don't understand why it's happening.
Is it not rechecking as soon as you log in or something?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Let's turn this back on. That's what I meant to do. Let's see which false it's hitting.
Assume fuel.
The generator works on black magic at the moment, but it will be fuel. Black magic because it just automatically creates power. So that tile entity is null. Oh wait, when it's in this direction, it's null. To the north. East. South. West. Up. Down. Northeast, southwest, up, down. That's every direction. Oops, wrong one. And it should be to the south that it connects. Oh, I just realized something again. It's trying to update or something.
It is going to run on the fuel, right?
Yeah, I think so. The ethanol fuel, right?
Yeah, the current tier 1 fuel.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So something
Yeah, I
happened.
wouldn't make it
and
run on the tier 2 stuff. I mean, that'd be
Yeah,
kind
it'd be
of
yeah.
counteractive.
Well, then that would probably be the tier 2 generator then. So whatever would run on that could be a tier 2 generator.
Right.
With a higher level of output or whatever. So it hit that bottom section for every single one, which is really weird. Because that means there was no tile entity there at first. Oh, maybe it's the order the things are being loaded in? Jeez, I hope not.
What do you mean?
So like the conduit's loaded and rendered first before the generator's tile entity is spawned into the world.
Oh, jeez.
East. South is false. So yeah, it's not recognizing that it's a tile entity. So inspect. It's a null. The position that it's checking at is negative 467, 56, negative 411. Am I somewhere safe on the server fire? I wasn't paying attention. I switched over to the. If you're not in there with me, I'll look.
I don't know.
I'm
You are.
right behind you. Let me go back on top of my perch up here because nothing ever gets me up there. Let's turn off the breakpoints, run the code. Oh no, it's not nice. And that is the block that we were checking. That block did not have a tile entity. Thank you for the host, Jay Trent. Oh, a new build uploaded? I don't know, because it won't work right anyway in survival. I usually try and make it so that there's new features in there for us or new bug fixes for us on the server. It'll take me at least the rest of the week to get the power generation stuff working right, I would assume. Maybe even into the weekend. Plus now, if you didn't hear, Hunter, we're going to add a villager. I've been coerced into it and sat on the fence long enough, and we've made the decision. Look. What just happened to make that update? Making sense.
Lighting update?
But, okay, so to that theory, let's go out of the thing, back in, and watch this. I'll place a block next to it, which should cause a block update, and it still doesn't change it. So I thought it was something similar myself. Let me get rid of all these. So the only tile entity that's in this world should be that one, or those two, I guess. Oh, the villagers. So we're gonna add a villager that you can trade with for blueprints, and the blueprints are what you use in the assembly table to make even the generator, the conduit, the factory arm. And initially, when you're starting out and don't have the generator or anything, right? Or a factory arm, you will whack the assembly table with a hammer that we've created a recipe for, but we don't have it in the game yet, to create your first generator, to create your first factory arm. And then you can automate it from then on once you have those two. But you have to trade with the villagers to get those two first, too. Those two blueprints. That's what I kind of like. And if you have to trade, what do you guys think? If you have to trade for it, should the blueprint be consumed when it is made? So if I get a blueprint...
Depending on the cost of it.
For a factory arm, should the factory arm blueprint disappear when you make it? And I heard what you said about the cost, and that makes sense too. And I'm assuming you mean the cost to trade for it, right?
Yeah.
See you, J Trent.
See you.
You might use diamonds around a piece of paper or something to make
Make what?
something. Use diamonds for trading.
Yeah.
Piece of paper and something. What the blueprint is.
What if we had some way you could duplicate a blueprint? I wouldn't. I don't know about that. I'm leaning towards the blueprint doesn't disappear. Because once you traded for it, you traded for it, and you know how to make it. Could do something like maps and allow you to duplicate them, but I don't know on a server, is that appropriate, or should we make everybody go through their own trades or whatever? What makes this thing update?
What happens if it gets consumed into the table? So the table knows the knowledge.
That's a lot of extra information to store on the table. Not saying it couldn't be done, but I don't know that I want to do that one.
Okay.
So what happens then if you want to move your table too?
Blueprints.
It spits them back out? Maybe. Guess I could make an inventory and then just... So hold on a second. Have you seen the assembly table?
Yeah.
So we've got a GUI for it. Well,
Make
okay.
a book of blueprints that the player has, or that the player has acquired. You put the book into a slot in the thing, and and then the table can use whatever blueprints are in said book. So let's say you got the continuous miner's blueprint, you got the excavator's blueprint, and you got the front loader's blueprint. You'd be able to put the book into the GUI's slot in the assembly table. It'll stay there, you know, kind of like the research table for
Yeah. A2.
yeah. No.
Or not,
Well,
AW2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blue.
Do you think that would work? Or
The only thing is, then that means in the assembly table you'd have to have some way of choosing which one it was. So that completely redesigns this interface again. Because right now the way you choose what you want to build is by putting that blueprint in there, right? So if I give myself a blueprint for the continuous miner, boom, it knows I can want to make a continuous miner then. It says how much it costs.
would it be hard to put that in there?
I don't know. This is the most complex GUI I've made so far, and you're asking me to make it more complex. I don't know. Because I'd have to make a list of all the possible blueprints. Like, we'd have to have room in it, right? I don't know how many blueprints are going to be. So it's like this list to be dynamic. Not saying it can't be done, just don't know how to do it.
But with a side note, you could also a section of the piece of equipment as well. Oh, that's for like higher tiers in that.
Oh, I think it's like section the book up. You're cutting out again, so I'm trying to understand what you said.
You have to, or you go up to the robots and you say, I want tracks, and it makes tracks for you. This is for like tier 4, 5, or 6 or something.
Oh.
Good God, how many tiers do you think we're going to put in here? We're scratching our heads trying to figure out tier 2, and you're thinking we're going to have 6 of them?
Oh, it wouldn't be that hard to come up with 6 areas.
No, the 6 dimensions wouldn't be the problem.
Yeah, I think he means the machines. Like,
Right.
what machines would we add to it?
Like, I'm really having a trouble trying to think of what tier 2 machines can do. Alright, and you're talking tier 6? What's left? That's what I gotta say.
You make tier 3 like a plastic world where you have to mine a bunch of blocks to make something.
Nope, tier 3 world is already semi-set.
Fire reserved that
one's-
one for his water world.
I know Fire
Yes.
got that one.
Yes, water world.
But-
Okay.
Okay. Water World 1, then you can make the opposite, like fires where all these volcanoes spawn or something. Fire equipment to cool the fire equipment. A nice one. It just continually goes on in my brain.
Oh, nothing wrong with that, man. Like, literally, that's how 3/4 of this mod got into play.
So Eagles
Just-
probably never heard the grand idea.
Oh God, which grand idea? We've
I mean-
only got about 1 million of them swimming around by now.
The tower crane.
Oh yeah.
Like, not just the tower crane by itself, but the grand idea of the tower crane.
Well, I'll let you explain that one. That one's your baby.
Yeah, I kind of heard that one. I'm not completely sure on it.
So a tower crane, not one you ride in, one you place in the world, and it would move back and forth, pick up blocks and stuff, and build a scanned-in piece of the world for you by placing the blocks with the tower crane. And the grand idea of it was that the blueprints would be shareable through a website that you scan it in your blueprint, upload it to the website, and then anyone else with the mod could then download that blueprint to use to build. It has a lot of potential problems, like what's stopping the trolls from making genitals and uploading them, right? That kind of stuff can happen.
But it's kind of up to you to pick what you download. So
Right. What if you can select all machines on the GUI, but the blueprint is part of the consumables? Gazer, you were like 6 steps behind. Go. I'm just giving you a hard time for these two, Gazer. I know. Well, here's what I'm thinking, guys. The blueprint's not consumable. It stays in the machine. When you click assemble, it would create one. And then turn off, and then you have to click it again if you want to create a second one for whatever reason. At least for now. Then if you wanted to change the machine, you change the blueprint in it. There's nothing saying that we can't make that automatable if someone really wants to automate the mod, even though that's not what this mod's about. With, say, a hopper, maybe we could make that slot accessible to, you know, other mods and things to pull out the thing go blueprint. Pull out the blueprint, right? So there's the blueprint. Yeah, it doesn't pull out, but we could make it so it could. And then you could put one on the side to put the blueprint in or whatever. So that's all possibilities. But at the same time, like, in this mod, what would you automate it for? Like, you're not gonna make 1,500 loaders. You're just not.
For the enterprising gentleman who wants to sell them to other players.
I guess. No, we can't do that. Never mind. I take that all back. Take that all back. Because what we were saying was when you hit assemble, you have to have all the items that the blueprint requires in your inventory, and it's going to suck them out of your inventory and consume them. So I take that 117,000% back.
Okay, well, what about sometime in the future adding a block that will allow you to copy blueprints?
Oh, copy blueprints? But why would you need copy blueprints if they're not consumed? When I said consumed, I meant the recipe ingredients. So.
Oh, okay. So the blueprint doesn't get used.
Right. So the blueprint just sits there, and when you hit this assemble button, it would use the steel, the diamonds, the redstone, the leather, etc. Whatever the components that blueprint requires.
Now, could you make it so that the assembly, because it's the assembly table that takes the blueprint, right?
Yes.
Okay. Could you make it so that the assembly table can, like you know, with the Tinker's Construct, where the parts builder has the ability to pull from an inventory next to it, or has a
Well,
you can put that box next to it, and you can have all the blueprints in there.
Right. I think we've talked about this before. It's not the problem of piping them to it or anything like that. It's when you click that button, everything has to be there. And
I'm just trying to be nice so that, you know, so we could. No, it's not. There's no issue, Gazer. I'm just, like I said, I was just wanting it so that you could have easy access for all of your blueprints. Is all. Everything's working fine. I mean.
Can you imagine making the continuous miner by hand? If this is the true cost that we're gonna have on it, 100,000.
Oh my god! Yeah, you'd have to put an auto clicker going, because you'd be there all day.
And that's when the EXP stalker spawns in and ignores XP and ignores the fact that you're in the overworld and in the light and just wrecks your face.
Yeah.
You've clicked too fast.
Or even worse, your next version up with the Mob B. You decide to skip a night of sleeping, and all of a sudden there's mobs sweeping in from you from above.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a fan of that mob at all. That's gonna. Oh man.
I think a lot of people are going to have problems with that one.
Yeah.
Most of the other ones I could see, but that one, this single player world is going to be great. Everybody else plays along with you. It's going to wreak havoc.
Well, especially on servers that have, like we do, Morpheus mod. Because all it takes is like a couple of people to sleep, and then oops, whoever didn't get to sleep gets
Can't sleep.
mobs after them.
Yeah. Hey, Tech, can you toss me blocks of iron there?
Oh yeah. There you
I don't need that much.
go. I didn't know how many you needed. I'm thinking I need to redo the block model for this crafting table, because apparently I can make block models. Or not the crafting table, the assembly table. So they're making it just a square. It's not important, but...
Yeah, it's not completely necessary right this moment.
Okay, I gotta ask, is there a furnace missing from this thing, or is it supposed to look like that?
What?
Like the diagonal thing with air, or...
No, it did look like
You're-
this up until like 2 days ago. And I had this extra furnace in my inventory, and I'm like, I don't want this.
Okay. This is bugging me. I don't know why.
There you go.
Oh, what, did you not like my uneven rows of furnaces there? I mean...
No, it was like the one furnace that needs one more, and it seemed like somebody was lazy. I wasn't sure.
I was being lazy. I had plenty of other things to do. Missing one furnace was not a big deal. Do you see the house that you were standing in?
What are you talking about, Fire? It looks nice. Looks better than anything I'd build.
6.
Oh, I don't know about that, Tech. You remember that tower you built on the that one server?
No. What tower?
The one with all the mob grinders in it. I forget which server it was exactly.
My first video? Is that what you're talking about? That was a tower.
It was built out of basalt and I think
That was built on that.
and marble, I think. Like half the tower was white and the other half was black.
Oh. Oh, okay, I'm thinking of something totally different. Apparently I've done towers of those blocks before. Because the very first video I did, I had a white tower with like black. It would stagger in, and each of the steps in were black flat. And I used Red Power 2, the really thin blocks to make it, because you could make a ton of them, right? That's what I thought you were talking about, but there was another tower I made too that I don't remember as well, but I know what you're talking about. I kind of made it like the two towers or something, kind of like from Lord of the Rings type look, like yin and yang kind of look thing to it.
Yeah.
Gazer, we're gonna add a villager. You're gonna trade with the villager to get the blueprints. So you're gonna have an assembly table, and you're gonna whack it with a hammer for your first thing that you're gonna make out of it, which will probably be a generator and a robot arm. Those two things, because then once you have those two things, you can power the robot arm, and the robot arm can do the whacking for you, so you don't have to click on it anymore. But I think every blueprint that we make has to come from a villager. Maybe I should just make it so like all of my villagers have all of the trades for all blueprints. That way it doesn't turn into a quest to breed 50,000 villagers to find that one blueprint you're after.
Right. It'd probably be good. Can they have that many trades though?
I have up to, I want to say 8 or 16, I think.
Is that a limitation that's just be the way Vanilla's done it, or?
I think so. I'll find out.
Hard limit. So I guess I need to stop flying around and actually look up how to make a villager. Actually, I probably need to wind it down for the night. Custom villager traits.
Summon villager.
So you need to create and register a villager profession using the game registry register method. This profession give the villager type and name and texture, both normal and zombie version. Oh, cool. Zombie version of them. You then can create one or more villager careers, instances, and villagers' professions.
Okay, it looks like it's endless.
Cool. Create iTrade list implementation with the added merchant recipes. Using the add merchant recipes method, use the villager career add trade method to add the trades to your villager career. Method add trade takes a method. Pass any number of trade list implementations. Okay, that's pretty much it. Well, if this tutorial's accurate, he's got it broken down into 4 steps. It sounds really easy. No. It's kind of your gateway to make tier 2 machines though, right? All the tier 1 machines, at least right now, and I don't know if I'm going to change it, you can just create crafting recipes for.
You want your storage bin right here, or do you want it moved? Because it's going to get a bit bigger, I think.
What's going to get bigger?
I was going to automate the sorting system.
Oh. I don't care where it is myself. Fire, do you care?
You want it like somewhere over here, or...
What sorting system?
He's talking about putting a sorter on the farm storage.
Oh, go for it. Just do remember there's like well over 8K worth of stuff sitting here.
When you go to move it.
Oh, just a little warning.
You might want to empty it a stack at a time. Maybe create another, like a 7th crate.
I mean, the chest here is practically empty, so if you wanted to use this to transfer a little bit at a time, but it's going to be quite...
As soon as I get the transferring stuff over, I'll just go grab some of my crates and bring over here.
4.9.
Otherwise, yeah, I don't care. You can make a sorting system if you want.
Okay.
It's 76 stacks of corn, that's all.
Only 76 stacks, I mean...
Just the corn. There's that many of all the other items, too.
And wow, the mob farm's up to 2 double chests. Jesus. I think a little too active.
What? I didn't even notice the other chest there.
Yeah, I stuck that in.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah. Footsteps above me. I'm feeling rather scattered right at the moment. I don't like that. As far as what to work on. So let's get a little organized then. Let's go to Trello. The Trello's even kind of getting scattered. You know what? Maybe I can do the GitHub thing. Because they've added something kind of like Trello. And then I can put them into projects. Create a project. Tier 2 machines. Welcome to GitHub Projects. Use the question mark key to say available shortcut. Oh, cool. Adding a new column, dragging cards between columns. Yeah, figured that worked. Search for issues in PR request. Project. Okay. So to do. Let's add a new one. Oh, yeah, I'm liking this already. It's easier to do. Add a villager. Yep. Add a hammer. Finish Power.
I really want to make it
Go ahead.
goofy. You have them spawn in abandoned mine shafts.
Ew. Wonder if you can control where they spawn like that. Because if you use just the vanilla stuff, it's probably going to try and spawn them in villagers.
I don't know. Really kind of makes sense.
Start crossing these off as we can.
Tech, I'm gonna get off here.
Okay. Night, Fire.
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow.
Okay. Gazer, you're behind us again. We've gone down this before, talking about research stations and stuff. That sounds like a lot of extra work. But it's not just tier 2. Like, a villager would be anything. Well, I shouldn't say anything. We're requiring blueprints because we require the assembly table to create tier 2 stuff. That's what it is. Passive. Villager's not even in there. Village. Okay, let's create a package named Village. Village. Actually, no, wait, hold on. Before I do this, let's commit all this to the GitHub. There. Now I can start villagers. Package. Create a new class. Villager. Villager profession. Machine. No, wait, let's call him engineer. First, we'll give the villager type a name and a texture. And add the constructor. Is that really all there is to villager profession? Because maybe I don't need to actually create a custom one. No, okay, there's more to 'em. Fair enough. Let's save this. It gets rid of the error message. New class mod village. Let's use mod blocks here real quick. Cut and paste deal in it. Okay, save this, and then in our machine mod, where we're registering blocks, probably. Yep. We want to say mod village dot edit. Okay. Here we're gonna say public static final. Final. Equals new villager profession engineer texture. Yeah, you're not gonna have a texture at first, dude. Sorry. I'll say zombie engineer. Okay. And then under init, we need to say game registry dot register. Forge registry now, so this is an old tutorial apparently. Forge registries dot villager professions dot register engineer. You can then create one or more villager careers instances for the village profession. The career has a name. For example, the smith can has armor, weapons, and toolmaker, associated traits. Create iTrade implementation with then added merchant recipes. So how do you tie the villager? Villager career. Oh, okay. So you just register your career on the villager profession. Okay, well, let's try it. New class, villager profession, villager career. Oh, so you could have a profession of the engineer and a career of thinking out loud. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, whatever. Or farming, like a farming engineer, or a construction engineer, or a transportation engineer. And each one of those different types of engineers has the recipes for those types of machines. That could be interesting. So let's do mining. How about that? Ag constructor. Okay. Public.
Tech, how do you destroy crates?
You should be able to mine them. Once you've taken everything out of them.
You just hit them with the pickaxe?
Yeah, it should work. So not breaking. Yeah, make them
Doesn't seem to be.
Let me look at the code and see if I made him indestructible by mistake. Their hardness is 15. Maybe it's thinking you're clicking on it trying to pull something out. I don't know.
Kind of hard by hitting it though.
Like the block break stuff starts in the middle, so you won't see it till it's all the way to the edge of the block pretty much. The little crack animation. Wow. I don't know if I've ever tried to break them in survival. Oh, did you
There we
finally
go.
get it?
Took a while. Dialed back just a tad.
You know, I'll say I probably at one time thought that was a good thing, because you don't want to accidentally break a crate with 10,000 items in it. You know what I mean? So I probably made them extra durable so that you wouldn't accidentally do that. Yeah, that's it.
Do you think the structure is kind of on width size? Just growing to get a tad bit taller.
I think I only heard every third word. You said something about the structure and its width.
Yeah, on the size of it. Do you think I need to shrink it down a bit, or?
As long as it's gonna fit in here, I don't think it's a problem. So we can't exactly move the cow farm now. It's kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Hey, Epic Death. Villager career mining. Miner. Okay. This dot register. Okay. Get career. I thought I seen a register village or career on a thing. On the profession, it just says register. But it's a private, dang it.
Screens throw stuff out to the side.
They do throw stuff out to the side. You can actually put them on the same level as the hoppers if you want, because they will also put into adjacent inventories. If it's a sided inventory, they'll accept it from the side. The crates will not accept it from the side. They only accept things from the top. So if you look over here in the top level of this white area,
Yes.
Fire's got one set up with going into the hoppers. Oops. And if you want buffer, you can always have it go into a double chest. Yeah. You don't think the hopper can keep up with the load coming at it? Because the screen will outpace the hopper. The screen will move an entire stack in a tick. Hopper takes one item at a time. Maybe at some point I should update the screen again and have it work with crates so it puts them in from the top if it's a crate. Shoot, my wife just reminded me of something. I'm gonna have to get off here, guys.
Okay.
I guess goodbye, stream. I'll work
Bye,
on the
everybody.
villagers some more later, probably, and I don't know, maybe tomorrow. Assuming I'm even on the right path, I might not be. But anyway, bye, guys.